You're such an asshole.
Shitting in Chicago and Seattle too, shitting in the streets. You could be a Gentile shitting in the streets, or an Ashkenazi Jew shitting in the streets. Sweet feces, there is feces everywhere. Come on, every guy around. No, sorry. I'm in my late 20s, live around Seattle. I'm considering getting out of the state before the communist rabble begin to feast on the entrails of our once great nation. What's great about Seattle is there are no conservative people in Seattle at all, even in the suburbs. So they'll just be eating their own. And then when they try to go up Highway 2, there's going to be a lot of real men and women that are just happy to gun you down. Or the Highway 9, the Snoqualmie Pass. Matter of fact, there's not a lot of passes. There's only 3 ways out of that area. You could choke them. They could go up north to Canada. They could go up Highway 2. They can go on Highway 90. And then there's Chinook Pass. But they'd be waiting for them there too. And that's a steep climb. Or you can go down to Portland. Oh, they'll probably be coming there. My idea is simple. I cash out my 401k, sell off many of my toys, and get myself an RV camper. Hell, after all that, I should be able to live humbly for a few years and remains provided the value of the dollar doesn't crash through the fucking floor. I could then go live in any number of red states. I'm thinking Utah, Nevada, Montana, or Arizona. There's a book out there called Reconnaissance Man. I recommend you buy it and read it. Available paperback, Kindle, and audiobook. And as long as they have industry, I should be able to find work on the automation maintenance field as a mobile technician. My buds even have jobs they will refer for me. My current job pays well and is easy, but they've been laying off since I got here, and the work to be done has been dwindling for quite some time. I might be able to stay here and milk it for a few more years, but I don't want to get stuck in this liberal hellhole when the next round of lockdowns. So what do you think I should do? I agree, you should leave. Look, not Seattle. Any town that has a population that votes in politicians who then enact policies where it is okay for people to shit in the streets and shoot up heroin, and you get heroin programs, that is a failed society. It's failed. And enough indoctrination over decades of time, I don't have to go over this again, but we're going to have to, has convinced the population that that is humane, that is good, let alone feasible and sustainable in the long run. You're not going to convince the people in Mercer Island who just, I'm such a good liberal, I care because I voted Biden, I'm so good. You're not going to convince them. Leave. But guys, what do you think you should do, huh? Don't cash in your 401k. Here's my question. Did you apply for jobs out of Seattle? Huh? Did you apply for jobs in Arizona or Utah or these other places? Nobody, okay, all losers have one job. That is the job that keeps them alive. Winners, real men and women, all have 2 jobs, minimum. The job that keeps them alive and the job that improves their lives. Entrepreneurship, getting advanced education. I mean, it could be something as maintaining a household, budgeting the family budgets and finance, applying for jobs, and that's your case. Have you applied for jobs? Well, I'm not saying you haven't, but how do I get a raise? They're treating me badly at work. Well, the first job you have when you get a new job, when you get a job offer, the very next job for you to do is go right to your recruiter and say, I want to hear about all jobs that pay this much or more with these requirements that I have. You are always looking for another job. You're always looking for a better. Go watch Josh Fluke. Go watch Josh Fluke about how to handle your career. Brilliant kid, totally blue pill when it comes to women, but brilliant kid when it comes to corporate America and a career. But yes, I like your idea. Yes, you should move. You got to find out where to go, but I would say I would almost put that secondary to you finding a job. Do you have a job? Go find a job. Apply for a job. Do not cash out your 401k. That's your retirement money, assuming it still sticks around. Right? But you have to go and apply for another job. And then I would almost, ideally I would say you go Utah. I think Utah is a little bit better. Arizona gets too hot in summer. Montana, Idaho would definitely get too cold. You don't even have to now Washington State's not bad. Why do you have to leave Washington State? You just have to get out of Seattle. Trust you me, Seattle will kill itself. It will not get over the Cascades. There are too many angry people and too many choke points. Go to Leavenworth, go to Yakima, go to Spokane. There's nothing wrong with Washington State. You don't have any state income taxes. It's nice. It's mountains. It's a beautiful state. I would just leave Seattle, and that would maybe open up some other employment opportunities. You don't have to drive as far for an interview. But that's what I think you should do. Anything else? Is that it? Okay. Tacoma in the house. I like that really crappy Metrodome you guys got where all the bums hang out, which really doesn't differentiate it from all the other exits in the Seattle-Tacoma area. There was uphill from Tacoma, across the interstate, go south of Tacoma, across the interstate, there was some neighborhood, and it was all Gen Xers, people my age, and they all had tattoos, and they were all at their bar. I'm like, God, it's like, dudes, you guys are in your 40s. Some of you look like you're in your 50s, and this is your fucking life. While you're still a waitress, huh? Like, maybe you should leave that for the younger girls and guys who kind of really need you've had the time of like, oh, I bet you know what it is. I bet you it's all the hipsters and the grunge kids from the 90s. Look, your time is over. Kurt Cobain is dead. Give it up. Well, where are you going to go? I don't think I'll ever go back to that. I got some good friends that I really enjoy Seattle, but I'm never going back there, guys. I'm sorry. It's just not worth it. DJ Aftershock. Dude, man. Like, my dad is an engineer at Amazon, and I'm entitled to everything because I live in Mercer Island and worked in Bellevue. DJ, how do you know all these towns like this? You know Minneapolis like the back of your hand. Now you know Seattle, too? I had a pleasant time one time in it. The first time I went to Seattle, I was 23. Do you guys want a story? Gather around, kids. Cappy's going to tell you a story. When old Uncle Cappy was a young man, very young, 23, I ended up scheduling some finance seminars. I had a hustle out in Seattle, and I had enough of them. What was it? Was it on stock valuation? I forgot what it was. So I flew out there and had enough community ed places they wanted to have my class. So I think I had 6 or 7 places. And I was so proud of myself because I was flying. I was doing businessman thing. I had a honking huge LCD projector. It was the size of a small briefcase, suitcase. Old laptop, PowerPoint presentation. And I got a Hyundai Elantra. And I stayed at some crap hotel down by SeaTac. And they said, go to Pioneer Square. That's where all the action is. So I go teach. And then, daytime I'd explore, teach that night. And then I come back and check some Pioneer. And I ended up meeting this gal. And she was really cute. And I forgot, I probably approached her at a bar or something like that. And I got her number. This is when we gave numbers in those days. So, well, how long are you around? I said, I'm going to be around for a week or so. And then I think that the last night she could go out, we went out. And we went on a date. And I think I had to drop her off in Queen Anne. I dropped her off. And we could tell we really liked each other. And we just gave each other a real nice, long, passionate kiss. And I said, I'll see you. She's like, oh, okay. If you're ever back in Seattle, I'm like, yeah. And then Cappy went and caught his plane. And he flew back to Minneapolis. And he was happy to go to Minneapolis because I do remember I did not see the sun one time in that entire week. I remember her name. I won't mention her name, but I remember her name because it was a different name. DigiNomad, $2 Canadian. I read it again. So you are saying there's a chance. Yep. There's a chance. If you read the book of Numbers, There's a chance. Very small chance. You guys won't read it. Yeah, yes. Even if you've given up, let me put it this way. Even if you're Black Pill or Big Tower or whatever, you guys are still going to love it anyway because it's kind of vindicating. And a lot of people are all like, oh, I can't believe the black pillars. I can't believe the red pillars. And I'm like, look, guys, you're both right. Okay. It's a matter of like your investment horizon and how much you value your time and what you're willing to do. I don't see them as mutually exclusive. I find it kind of interesting academically to watch the two sides go at it. But if you choose to chase the girls and you know the investment involved, that's fine. Nothing wrong with it. If you don't want to chase the girls, I am completely sympathetic. I would look at it like, yeah, maybe I'll go shit in the streets of Seattle. Sam Whiskey, $5. Cappy, if you're holding an iPhone in one hand and a Starbucks coffee in the other, do they have anything to complain about? Yes, the patriarchy and capitalism. And that Apple and Jeff Bezos don't donate enough money. Jeff Bezos you have to also complain, Sam, that Jeff Bezos hasn't done enough for Seattle. Forget all the jobs and the literally billions of dollars. Oh, and screw that Bill Gates guy too. He hasn't done anything for Seattle. They're just all rich bastards who should pay that grade A Kuwantahaha East Indian bint who just comes to this country and says, give me free shit, I'm a communist. Oh, that worthless parasite of a human. She's not even human. I want free money because other people have the money. Oh, but you have a degree in economics, huh? Liberal arts majors again. Aaron, don't you have a degree in economics? No, I have a degree in finance. You don't need a degree in economics to be an economist. You just have to study the numbers and speak the truth. Romeo, $1. Thank you, Romeo. Is that in Seattle? Where's that picture from? Can't see that. There you go. All right. Questions, answers, assholeconsulting.com. Book down below. See you guys later, tools.